That's
So passe.
Oh.
I don't know why that's playing.
Okay.
But hold on, y'all.
All right, okay, I was about to spit something real quick for y'all. But anyway, greetings and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. Welcome to the show and all the things, Sir Daniel. Real quick, not to get all up in your business, but I heard you got an email that I feel like the people need to know to watch out for things, because that, Sir Daniel, is crazy.
Literally right before we got on the air, because I'm Sir Daniel. Can't you tell? I got an email.
It's that bang. It's
the bang. Okay, so everybody, this is how funny the music industry has gotten. I just received an email, and the email goes, "My name is CJ, and I'm an A&R affiliated with Motown Records, which serves as a parent company connected to Never Broke Again NBA Records. I recently came across your music." I have music?
Sir Daniel, of course you have music. I haven't heard it.
I'm a recording artist? Yeah, right. Me neither. And I genuinely believe you're a very talented artist with strong potential. Your sound stood out to me, and I can see why it could resonate at a higher level. I may be forwarding a few of your songs directly to NBA Youngboy for him to listen.
Shout out to DJ Sir Daniel for getting scouted by someone to send these songs that don't exist to NBA Youngboy. Good for you.
As I've heard, he's currently looking to sign. He's looking to sign a new artist very soon. If you're interested, please send a few of your best records to this email address. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a Gmail email address.
Of course.
I'll keep you updated and let you know any feedback I receive from NBA Youngboy. There's no signature, no nothing, no phone number, a signature line with your name, your title, none of that stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, the scammers are getting very crafty and particular about about how they're targeting people. And I just wanted to share that with y'all, because that was, first of all, it's hilarious. Being that I don't have song the first. I DJ, that's what I do. I'm not a recording artist. But the people are trying to get at you and to separate you from your money and your intellectual property as well. So just be mindful out there, because I've been hearing about different scams in different arenas too. Like they're scamming the people that do reality shows. They're scamming them and saying that there's a particular show for them to go on, and they require this and they want you to send in that. And some people are,
send in that stuff. Don't send. Y'all.
If they're asking you for your social security number, address, routing number, all that stuff, just don't do it.
Just don't do it. It's all good.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
It probably is. Yeah. Today I saw I don't want to label these people a scam, but it did. I'm pretty good about recognizing things like this. And they were casting for A Different World on Netflix. It was an ad for casting. And I'm like, no, I don't think they would do it this way, but sure. So anyway, just to Sir Daniel's point, be mindful. But Sir Daniel, I do hope that the NBA Youngboy thing works out.
You know what? I appreciate that, because if there's anyone that I'm musically akin to, it's NBA Youngboy. Absolutely. Absolutely. But on a serious tip, what this reminds me is that we're at a time where people are super, super desperate for attention on whatever level they can get it.
Yep.
And it's and I think it's that desperation that gets us into trouble from time to time.
I absolutely agree. And it makes us think about. So one of the things we wanted to do at the top of this show is we wanted to remember John Forte, who passed away this week. And it to that point, Sir Daniel, makes me think about artists like John, who really did cut his teeth in so many arenas in hip hop. Because one of the things that I found really interesting about his history is he was an A&R over at Rawkus, one of the most important labels in hip hop history. We don't talk about that label enough for a lot of reasons, but we don't. But we can thank him for making sure that Talib Kweli is in the world and connected with Mos Def, etc. But not only, of course, was he on the musical side of hip hop, he also was a musician himself and crafted 4 beautiful albums throughout his career. He lived a full life, and so we wanted to just show him some love.
Imagine your one of your first hip hop debuts is with the Fugees on the score. Like, that's wild. And Cowboys is probably one of my favorite records on the Fugees, the score album.
Yeah.
And of course, that's how we got to know John Forte there. We got to know him on the with Wyclef Staying Alive project with Praz. And of course, one of my other favorites is the Sweetest Thing Mahogany remix from the with the Refugee All-Stars from the Love Jones soundtrack, which is kind of hard. It's a delicacy as far as records are concerned. It's not out there a lot, and but I think it's a really dope remix. And and this is hitting close to home, Jerry, because we're the same age.
Yeah, man.
We're the same age, and that's always causes me concern when people in my age group, in our age group, are starting to check out like that. And peace to him and his family, and to all who loved him. I saw Lauren made a beautiful post. Yeah, that was a really dope post. So, shout out to them, that the whole Refugees family, the whole Newark, New Jersey family, Brooklyn, everybody that represented for John Forte.
Absolutely. Agreed.
And Carly, is Carly Simon still with us?
Carly Simon is still with us.
She's still with us, and she was friends with.
Very instrumental in his
and getting him out of
life.
Yeah. I mean, all that legal stuff, but
please go. If you go, and so 2 things I would say, and unfortunately John's second album, I, John, which is really dope, is not available on streaming, which I was surprised by, but it's probably a label thing. But you can at least go and stream his first album and then the last 2, and then go read the history of John Forte, because if you don't know that history, it is very, very interesting. The early 2000s for John Forte took some twists and some turns.
Yes, indeed. To say the least.
Yeah, man. So one of the things we also, so this is our Roundup show. Shout out to y'all for tuning in for our Roundup show. As we go through this, if there are things that have happened in the week that you want us to chime in on, drop them in the chat wherever you're tuning in from. We see folks on Substack and Instagram tuning in, so drop stuff in the chat that's kind of happening. But Sir Daniel, one of the things I wanted to make sure that we just chatted about tonight is Bandcamp has which I thought was super dope. They are the first kind of major music platform to say AI is banned from our platform. So if you are if you're using generative AI, Bandcamp does not, they're like, nah, you can't sell that over here. So here's the quote from them. "We want musicians to keep making music and for fans to have confidence that the music they find on Bandcamp was created by humans. If you encounter music or audio that appears to be made entirely or with heavy reliance on generative AI, please use our reporting tools to flag the content for review by our team. We reserve the right to remove any music on suspicion of being AI generated." I respect that. And I will tell you that Bandcamp's reporting mechanism is for real. So I actually had a situation last year where there was a fake Kipper Jones page up that was actually selling Kipper's debut album, Ordinary Story, on Bandcamp.
Wow.
And I reached out to them and I was like, this is not a real page.
Kindly take this down.
Take this down. And they did. Like, it was like not even a thing. Like they took it down. And so yeah, they take that thing for real. But I'm happy that they decided to say, here's our stance, we're not doing this.
That's what's up. Kindly take that down. Shout out to Kipper, who is joining us on Instagram.
What's
also
up,
Tone Wax, Debauchery, John Jordan, Greg in DC. What's up, G?
Yes.
Easy. And of course, Eclectic Music Vibes. Mike is in the building, checking in as well on Instagram. But yes, thank you so much for checking in. I'm happy to hear that they've drawn a line in the sand, because we are the last stop when it comes to these things happening, to put our foot down. And we're going to, especially in this country, we're going to have to put our feet down on a lot of things. We're going to have to put our feet down on AI. We're going to have to put our feet down on these faceless Gestapos that want to commit injury in our communities and drag people out of their homes. We're gonna have to put our foot down for a lot of stuff. And so this sounds small, but there are things that we all can do to say no and just revolt and rebel in the ways that we can here and there, for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm curious to know if folks are paying attention when you are on your streaming platforms, because it will happen. Like, it happened. My brother and I were in the car. I was driving the other day and something shuffled up, and it was just like a black woman, a nondescript black woman with a permed hair and like a 70s thing. And the song came on, and both my brother and I looked at the cover and was like, who is that? Right. And then we looked at the name and we were like, this has got to be AI. Because it was just two, you know how it's just like two by numbers? Mm-hmm. And we were like, who is this? Like, we would know who whatever this is. Turns out it was an AI generated song. And we hit the down vote on that joint. Down. So down vote them things. But pay attention as y'all are streaming on your platforms.
I think what these companies are doing is that they're trying to rely on the vapidness of a lot of specifically young people that rely on streaming services for their music and to discover music, because unfortunately a lot of people are just lazy when it comes to researching music and knowing about bands and whatnot. So they're just like, oh, we'll put this out there. If it sounds good enough, they'll like it, and we'll just continue to listen to it and not really look and see if these people even exist. That's why Key Points is very important to the culture, because even though we might talk a lot about past artists, we are also keeping our eye. We're watchdogs over here. We're keeping our eye on things like this that are developing in the greater culture, because we don't want you to be taken for a fool. We don't want you getting emails from NBA Youngboy Records trying to get you to hand over your intellectual property. So shout out to us.
Shout out to us. If you get an inbox from NBA Youngboy, be like, I'm NBA Youngboy and I need money to get out of here.
And I'm with Motown Records. Sure. Okay.
Right.
Wild stuff. Wild things that are happening. Before we move on to that, Jay, somebody made an announcement this week.
What was the announcement?
There were several announcements this week.
Oh, okay.
So and I was like, you know what? You do that. Mary J. Blige made the announcement that she is heading to Vegas, and she's doing a residency there. But it's a limited time, which I love for her, because I think we all realize that if Mary starts doing stuff that goes beyond the time that she's comfortable or, feeling comfortable continuing to do it,
Yeah.
it'll start to show. It'll be apparent.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. I'm happy to hear that Mary is going to be doing a Vegas residency. I think that's the move. A lot of people think that going to Vegas is a sign that you're old and washed up. I think it's actually very smart.
Yeah.
I think it suits the audience, the demographic that she really appeals to, because these places have seating, huh?
Hey,
these places have seating, and if we're going to go to the show, we're going to be able to have a seat. There'll be a cocktail situation. There'll possibly be food, and we're going to get we're going to get a storyline in this show.
Okay.
So I think all of the things are lining up, and this could be very advantageous for our girl, and can open her up to another legacy. We just don't know, but I think I was happy to hear about it.
Yes. Good for Mary.
Yes.
Here's why. So here's the thing. And this is why I say I'm happy that she has this opportunity. I think she is incredibly deserving. She's got the catalog. She has got everything that needs to happen.
The dedicated fan base.
She has all of those things. My hope and my prayer is that she wants to do it. Like that she appears to want to do it. This is my take. This is J. Ray talking. This is not Sir Daniel. This is not Q Points. I sometimes feel like sis be phoning it in, and Vegas is not the place where you can do that, because you have to be able to do this show the same way multiple nights per week. So the person who comes to see you on Tuesday needs to see the same thing on Thursday, or at least feel like it's like the same level of energy.
Exactly.
And I want the best for Mary, and I want this thing to go down. So shout out to Mary for getting this opportunity. Clearly they're like, nah, we can make this thing pop.
Yeah. Because that's an investment.
That's an investment.
Yeah.
It's an investment.
Clearly
and maybe it'll be easy for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for her. Congratulations to Mary for doing that. Yeah. Ooh. It harkens back. So you know what actually also has me thinking about this is I remember when Adele's residency was like oft delayed for a lot of reasons. I think there was like a COVID thing, but then it was like I can't do it this year thing, a voice thing, and then it's just like a lot of things. And I'm like, if it's one thing that Janet Jackson, right? Janet and Usher have shown us is you just got to show up and do them, like bang them shows out, like kick them, them things.
And you know what? Mary might surprise you and show up in some roller skates and really give us a 1-2 around that stage. We just don't know. She can really surprise us. I could see her singing just fine on some roller skates and twirling and doing all the things. And yeah, with a bob wig. Come on, mate, with the bob wig, shaking all of the
boots,
things.
The glittery boots.
Oh, J. Ray.
What?
Mary can come out with a line of roller skate boots. thigh high boots that have roller skate bottoms. Tell me that wouldn't be dope. Imagine some custom Mary J. Blige roller boots.
Roller boots. Custom MJB roller boots. Yeah.
If I see that out there, I'm coming for my money, because that is my idea.
So Mark McPherson is over on Substack and said, I can't even keep a straight face with Mary J. Blige or roller skates. No, Mark, they're roller boots. They're MJB roller boots.
Yeah, I can see her.
And she doing like she like backsliding in her. Now,
Tone Wax on Instagram called them dancery boots.
Dancery boots. I would
like
absolutely
that.
now that is some shit I would go see. Yes.
No, not dancery, rollery.
Rollery boots.
Rollery boots. Yes.
Baby, you better give us Xanadu at Vegas, Mary. I will go.
Man. Xanadu. It's a Xanadont.
Oh, to Xanadu.
I love that. I love that for us because we entertain foolishness around here just a little bit. So yeah,
dancery boots. So this year, this week, last week, backstory. So 2025, Salt-N-Pepa filed a lawsuit against Universal to not regain, because there's not a regain here, that's the problem, to gain control of their masters. And as of January 13th, this is on OK Player, the lawsuit was dismissed. And well, it actually happened on January 8th. So U.S. District Judge Denise Cote on Thursday, January 8th, decided that the Grammy-winning group never owned the copyrights to their sound recordings and didn't transfer them to anyone else. Plaintiffs can only terminate copyright transfers that they have executed, the judge wrote. None of the contracts identified by the plaintiffs indicate that they ever owned the master tapes. That's rough. That's rough. And it's also like a wild business issue from 4 decades ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just no way around it.
Well, first of all, shout out to the ladies for being steadfast and, sticking to their guns and continuing to fight, as they made their own public statement about respectfully disagreeing with the ruling and saying, hey, we're going to continue to fight this, and shout out to them. And I wonder if I want it to be worth it for them.
Yes.
Like, because fighting legal battles is expensive. Mm-hmm. And I'm all here for the principle of it all. I want them to win. I just know how things were tricky, especially in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I just had a lot of thoughts going on because I was reminded of that deal that they got in 96, 97 with Red Ant.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a huge payout over there. I don't know we don't know what papers were signed, what documents were signed, and if there were any kind of stipulations like, well, if we do this, then this is ours. And we all know that record labels, and they're not even record labels in the traditional sense. They're literally just conglomerates that buy up different properties, different intellectual properties. The same people that buy up, movies and books. There's nothing artistic. There's nothing there's nothing artistic or even humanistic about what they're doing. This is strictly conglomerates owning property and owning it in perpetuity and showing that, hey, bottom line, we are going to make money off of this, off of whatever you came up with, because back in the day, you signed on the dotted line, and this holds up in court even 40 years later.
Yeah,
and
they signed a production deal.
And everybody in the chat is referring back to Herbie, and J. Ray and I have definitely, we're not blind to the fact that Herbie is definitely has more answers than he's publicly saying. because Herbie, as we all know, was controlling the strings back then.
Oh yeah. And we, unfortunately, to Sir Daniel's point, right? And we don't know the story, right? So they would have to literally say, here's what went down. Because I really do think a lot of this actually probably does. The fork in the road was the separation, and the we're going our own way. And we talked about it on our show when we did the ranking the Salt-N-Pepa albums, how they did not know that they're going to be on a downswing. All of the lights pointed to they were on an upswing. And that was not true, and they would not have known that, right? So, but in between there, like getting to that, we don't know what transpired. But at the end of the day, John is right. Those rights were transferred to Universal. Is like, we own these things outright, fair and square. Like, this is our stuff now.
It's mine now. I keep.
Exactly. And it sucks. But yeah, it sucks.
It really does.
So should they go and re-record the stuff, Sir Daniel? Is that a thing?
Absolutely not. No, thank you. No. I've heard some of the re-recordings. I think it was Kid and Play did a re-recording of a couple of their songs, and I was just like, no, I don't want this. There's just something missing when you try to re-record, is because it's, first of all, you physically sound different. You're older, you've aged, your vocal cords have changed, you're physically going to sound different. And there is a magic, there is a root in the music, when music is created, a life force, and when songs are created that transcends time, but it can't be recreated, in my opinion. This is just Sir Daniel talking. I just don't believe that they can be recreated and sound or have the same magic. Now, Taylor Swift, and I'll bring this up because people will use that argument. Taylor Swift re-recorded her stuff.
Yep.
Fine. Taylor Swift, that's a different thing. Taylor Swift's music is fairly recent.
Yeah, it's really
fairly recent. She doesn't do a whole lot with her voice. Vocally, and on top of that, she wrote and produced all her stuff. To her credit, that's her music. She did all of that. All her paperwork is in place. She did all of that. So it's just like her singing those songs out on tour. So her re-recording her music, not that big a deal. It wasn't that long ago. She's still kind of in that same. Yeah, she still kind of sounds the same, basically. Yeah. So that she can do that. Yeah. But as far as our classics are concerned, I just don't see that.
I agree. No, I was asking the question, but I definitely solidly agree. There are ways. Now, if you are reimagining the songs in some way, shape, or form, sure. You know what I mean? But they have to also be brilliant reimaginings, and that takes and good. So yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. The great thing for them is they still get the opportunity to tour and perform and still make money as Salt-N-Pepa performing these songs.
And maybe, they know that they're stronger together.
And they know that they're stronger together as a team. Yeah. Maybe Universal one day, this big conglomerate will be like, you know what? That's Cheryl and Sandy. We like them.
Sure, right. They're going to figure out. They're going to find a way to package everything in a ridiculous box set and sell it back to us, which is, while you can, I'll say this: Salt-N-Pepa Records, if you're a vinyl collector, CD collector, their catalog is not crazy to attain.
Nope.
Like, you can get physical copies, and if if you're truly a fan, get those physical copies where you can. If you see them, buy them up. Yep. Because I think what they're going to do is, like I said, they're going to repackage and try to sell it back to you. They're not going to stream it. They're going to find some way to package it and sell it to you in a big box set and make it be a part of Record Store Day somewhere down the line.
Okay, so I think this is a good segue, because speaking of rollouts and packaging and somebody who is coming back to music, they've been very visible as an actor, but they are coming back to music. A couple of weeks ago, Jill Scott has announced that To Whom This May Concern is hitting the streets on February 13th, 2026. You can pre-order the album now. So you could buy the vinyls on her website. You can pre-save, of course. And she has been on a tear. Like every day I open up the social media, Jill Scott is on somebody's show. She just did the Colors performance of Don't Play, which is very Jill Scott. And yeah, she's kind of been everywhere. But Sir Daniel, what do you think is important about the fact that Jill is coming back in this moment?
I think it's very important for her to return because, one, she was part of a movement that created a whole new chapter in Black music.
Yep.
Or extended a chapter in Black music. And she was just very super important to the culture. You know, a woman who is fully realized. She has not copied. She has not changed her body in the sense to make it fit into Hollywood standards. She has retained her physicality and she still looks like the women that have supported her from the beginning because they see themselves in her, which I think is still important.
Yeah.
She's had a child who is now a pre-adult.
Yeah.
And so
singing on her album too.
Singing on her, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
And that brings another dimension to the person that we've grown up with and grown to love. And I love that she's back and she's talking her stuff. You know, I like that. I like that about women artists, especially the modern ones who are of a certain age and they talk that talk and they know that they got it going on and they're like, yeah, you're going to like this. And, you know, and her willingness to, well, she's always been able to speak freely and openly about all the dimensions of life, including sex.
Oh, very much so.
Very much so, which we all find entertaining, you know, and her topics about being submissive and what that means to be submissive in the bedroom. And, you know, the type of dude that has to come correct in order to receive that kind of treatment. So I think we're all enthralled by this Jill Scott and what she's bringing to the table. What we were talking about her social media presence. What I was interested in is that young man, I can't think of his name right now, but he's the DJ out of the UK. Out of London. And he spins out in public, and it's become his shtick now is that artists will come and sing overdubs of the songs that they produce. And she just recently did one with him.
Yeah.
And she was singing, and I was like, you know what? I think we need Jill Scott on like some house music.
Yeah.
Or do we need more? I think we've got house flips of her records, but I'm wondering what a Jill Scott house project would sound like.
Yeah, you know, well, I think one of the beautiful thing, I agree there. I think Jill has always, especially early in her career, the UK has always been important to kind of her ascent. Because she was always kind of able to do things with some of the UK producers. I think back to the Four Heroes stuff and some of that early on in her career. I would her voice is tailor made to fit over
Completely. Yes.
Tracks that would do really well, especially from a soulful house perspective. So I definitely agree with that, and I also agree with you. And she's been saying this, but I think it's true. She is a grown woman talking to grown women about grown women stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting. I was having a conversation with Michelle from Real Chicks Rock.
What up, Michelle?
Yeah, shout out to Michelle. And Michelle was talking to me about the stuff that Jill is talking about. These are the conversations that sisters are having.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? With one another, right? And Jill is kind of taking those conversations and putting them on a record, and not being shy. Because even watching her on Colors, Don't Play, I hadn't heard that track. So, and on purpose, I just hadn't had an opportunity to listen to it yet. But I love that I got to hear it that way. So now when I hear the record, I'm probably going to be like, I'm going to still go back and listen to her live version of it. But she's not shy. Like, this is what it is. Y'all gonna get this? What?
That's what the distinction between that people are always talking about the vocalists, how we're unable to differentiate a lot of the new women that are, out here singing, and that, they all sound alike.
They all them new girls sound the same.
And Jill, how can I used to say this all the time. Jill Scott sings with her titties.
She sings with her titties.
It's that big buxom, voice, and like you said, she's not shy. She ain't playing with y'all.
She gonna caress them things when she doing it. She gonna do a little shimmy shake.
Yes,
all of that. Like, she is literally.
That's what we've been missing.
That's what we've been missing, is folks singing with their bodies.
Yes. Azalea Banks said it in this live. She's like, I'm tired of these, these dudes that, especially she was talking about the world music guys, and they're singing. She's like, that's not real singing. That ain't what we want. She's like, I want a nigga that sing like he got some dick in his pants. That's what she said. And that's what we want dudes that sing like they got some meat in their pants. Yeah. And we want women that sing like they got some, they sing with their titties. So that's what the game has been missing, J. Ray.
That is what the game is.
And trouser snakes. That's what the game has been missing.
Oh, that
segue from that, yeah.
Perfect.
Let me segue from that.
No, but I think this is I think this is actually a perfect segue, because there is a person. So, sidebar. So I caught Tiana Taylor is on a tear as well in entertainment. She is absolutely everywhere. She just won her Golden Globe for One Battle After Another. Wanted to lift that up.
Certainly.
We got to be introduced to this girl 20 years ago on my Super Sweet 16. And I do remember that episode very specifically, because I was fascinated by who in the world is this little girl, right, and is doing all of it was a lot of personality, and it was big, right?
Oodles and oodles, yes.
Oodles and oodles. But what I love about this moment for Tiana is we get the acting side, but what I think it's opening up is an opportunity for folks to also experience her musically. So I caught her and Lucky Day on Fallon. And it was one of the most beautiful. I be dragging the kids about their slow jams, be like, But anyway, they did her and Lucky were just singing their hearts out together on this stage, and it was a gorgeous performance, high quality. And so what I'm excited about, yes, the acting stuff is dope, and it gives her an opportunity to like make money and be all of that stuff and feed her babies and do all of that. But I feel like she's using this moment to remind people like, no. Like, music is the thing that I do. because she's been everywhere musically. I've seen her doing Sade covers. I've seen her doing all of this stuff. So she's using the movies to build to reignite her music stuff, where sometimes that happens in the reverse, right? People use the music to ignite the thing, but she's doing the reverse, and I think that's really cool.
It's absolutely dope. And I don't blame her. It's like you said, when she came in the game, we were like, who is she? Why is she important for us to know who she is? And then when we finally realized that, she's on Star Trek. She's signed to Star Trek. She's one of the Neptune's proteges. And it was like, okay, well then that makes sense. We understand why. And we would get little breadcrumbs of music here and there. I'll never forget when Google Me came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is cute. And it had the nerd sound, the Neptune sound to it and whatnot. And I was like, okay, this is cute. We'll see what she can do. But things just didn't, like they do a lot of times, things just fall apart. They don't happen necessarily in the steps that you think that you're going to take. And that's just life. If we're going to be 100% about it, that is life. A lot of us, I think about me and my big age and how I thought I saw things happening for me in a certain way, but I had to take there was some serious rerouting and detours that took place in my life. But eventually I'm seeing myself coming back to the original dreams that I had that are coming out. And I think that's a lesson that we can all take from Tiana Taylor and her life and her journey, instead of coming up with these different theories of why she's successful now, because I really think that it's steeped in white supremacy and self-hate, especially when we get a lot of these outlets that want to say, well, she's only getting these looks because she had a sex scene with Leonardo DiCaprio, and we all know that that's a humiliation. What is it? A humiliation
ritual
to join the Illuminati. So she's part of the Illuminati, and there's absolutely no way that a Black person can succeed in life, much less the music industry, if you are not a part of the Illuminati. So you're gonna hear all these different theories about how she used her ex-husband to get better, to get more attention. And I'm like, if anything, she upgraded him. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of complicated conversations that are happening around her and her success. And I just think y'all are weird. Y'all are really weird about it. If you really knew what she was doing in the meantime, it's that meantime, that valley part that we live in, that a lot of us live in for years, and people don't see it. That girl was choreographing for Destiny's Child, for Beyonce. Yep. She was putting on her own tours, and performing her mixtapes,
acting as a creative director and creative coach for like other artists that were up and coming. She has literally put in the work. So it's been dope seeing her have this moment in time. And Sir Daniel, you're absolutely right. Folks are weird and y'all need to stop. However, if there's anyone who is in the Illuminati that wants to come to Q Points, I have questions. We could blur like your face, or we could do like a dark screen thing with a fake voice.
Their voice. Absolutely.
Yeah, they'll sound like Kit from Knight Rider. We could do that.
We can do all of that because we have questions. We have I think we've got our we filled out our applications.
Yeah.
And we have our what is it? Our fees ready to go. Like what's the holdup?
Do I have like what do we have to do? Like I'm like there's something missing. Like is it involve a pigeon? I just need to understand. I don't know.
A pigeon that can't fly.
Oh,
I've said too much. Let me stop.
Shout out to Kimberly who just joined us on IG. Kimberly, we were just having a conversation. I know that was a weird place to enter, but before that, we spent some time talking about Tiana Taylor and her ascent and how her music and her films are getting shine. And so, we got a couple more things, Sir Daniel, that I wanted to. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Yes. I got two questions for you, actually. You don't even know what the last one is. But I never watched Deezus and Mero, so I don't have like a frame of reference. But Mero just took over. Yeah, he just took over as, the morning host on Hot 97 following Ebro. Ebro and the kids is not there. And so now it's Mero's morning show. Thoughts on that taking place? Just being a fan, because you were a huge fan of Deezus and Mero.
I was elated to hear about it. I didn't even think about him because I'm a little bit removed from New York. I haven't lived there in years, but I am, a radio person. I've lived the radio life, and all radio people talk about what's going on in different markets, especially major markets like New York. And for Mero to step into that position, it was like, you know what? Yes, absolutely. He's got the personality. He's got the he's so New York. He speaks the language of the people. And he checks off all the boxes. He represents a huge demographic of a Black Dominican from the Bronx, has been working class, was a school teacher at one point.
Wow.
Comedian, all of the things he had and has had the chops leading up to this moment. So it makes a lot of sense. He's a hip hop head, of course. He's part of our generation. So it makes total sense to me. I know, people are going to hate a little bit or throw salt on the game because, everybody thinks that it should be me or it should be whoever your homeboy is or homegirl. But I think thank you, Ox. He proved himself on the podcast with Carmelo Anthony, and of course, where I grew to know and love him was with on the Deezus and Mero show that was on Viceland.
Yeah,
and that those two, that half hour brought me so much joy. Pre-pandemic, during the pandemic. I used to call it My Guy Television because it was just a moment of just two regular dudes. They weren't problematic.
Yeah.
They were very they're very intelligent people, which I found refreshing. Yes, they kid a lot, and they're dudes. They're gonna have dude humor, bro. They're what bro TV, bro humor could be elevated. Like how we have, I think, Deontay Kyle, is like following in the footsteps is their son.
Oh, got it. Understood.
If I can make a correlation, so we're getting that elevated thinking, but still funny as hell. Still of the people. Still grounded, but elevated in thinking and intelligence with the content and the jokes. That's the kind of stuff that I get into. So I'm all here for it. I'm pretty certain that the New Yorkers, people like that. Like I said, he speaks the language. He's a man of the people, I believe. So good on him. I'm happy for him.
It's interesting when I heard about it. Like I said, I'm familiar with Deezus and Mero because I know how much you loved that show. And but I what I did find interesting, and I guess there's just haters that just happen because people be hating.
Absolutely. Yes.
But I also recognize that this is it's a 4-hour slot. It's a big slot to be able to fill in the morning. You coming after a big show that existed for a long time, and he has to carve out his own lane. Give the brother time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's also, I'm sure, having to figure all of that out, right? What is my It appears as though, from what I've seen of him, he's very secure in his voice and how he presents. But
Yeah.
also, you are now presenting in a box that is a big machine of a box, and he might need some room. So I'm hoping that folks give him the opportunity to find his footing as he gets into this thing, and learning what works for him on daytime radio, because that's the thing. Like radio, and you know this better than me, Sir Daniel, but this is just a listener. I know that when I hear someone on a podcast, it's a different experience to hear them on radio, because it just don't work the same.
It doesn't. They're totally different elements that have to be considered, especially if you are. One, it's commercial radio. They're owned by a big
You gotta watch what you like. You got things that you can, and yeah,
all of the things that you can do and can't say. I think they're going to rely heavily on the video aspect as well.
of course.
Like all radios, like most radio shows are doing now, like the Breakfast Club. And what I do find funny is that he's going up directly against the Breakfast Club. And if you're familiar with the history that both he and Deezus had with DJ Envy, which I still find hilarious to this day. But I wish him the best. I hope that he does well. And like you said, I hope that people give him some grace and space to grow, and just that they continue to be organic and just do the damn thing.
Yes. So my last thing, Sir Daniel, I'm gonna just put this up on the screen. Did you see this? Did you see this situation that went down? Hold on. It's about
yes, I did. I did.
Yeah, So here's what's on the screen, y'all. So this brother, DJ Torre, I'm gonna read what he said for the folks that don't know. So this is the night. So this is how this night was supposed to go. For context, I just started DJing 4 months ago, and after taking a bet on myself to make a name as an emerging DJ, share my love for music, and build a community of Afro house lovers here in NYC. This was only my second club gig ever, and I spent nearly 3 weeks practicing and putting this set together until everything took a turn. So the turn he is referring to is the DJ who was scheduled to be on after him. According, and you can see it in the video, is literally interrupting his set. He's setting up his things, which so then you know that, and I've worked with enough DJs to know DJs set up next to each other all the time. And in my experience, it's always been a friendly exchange. They're like, hey, what's up? Da da da. Here, okay, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna just set my stuff up, but da 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 da. How's everything? It's always been cordial, at least in my experience. But this dude literally, when I saw his hand reach for the fader and lower the volume, bruh, I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. What was your reaction to this?
There's so much stuff to unpack with that video and what happened in that situation. As you said, and that's what makes me very happy that I grew up in Atlanta's DJ scene, because as you said, when those things happen, pretty much, you probably know the person that is headlining or coming on after you. So it's nothing. People come in, they stand next to you. A lot of times we give each other grace and we look at each other and be like, hey, can I get one more?
Yeah.
And you be like, yeah, go ahead, get one more. That happens all the time. And it's all love because we've established community. I think that's one. Two, I think to this young man's the novice DJ Torre, to his credit, according to him, he had an allotted amount of time.
Yes.
He still had about maybe
15
10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 10, 15 minutes to go.
So I'm pretty certain he could, because he was being respectful of the time, was expecting to just continue to play. And so what I found, what was crazy to me though, was that whoever the DJ that came after him clearly, really feels himself and thinks that he's that important to kill the music while people are even if there's only like a handful of people that are dancing, that are grooving.
Right.
As the club owner, I would be furious that you've taken away music, that you made it so quiet in the club that you can hear a pin drop. Because that takes away from the situation. In that minute that you have to fumble around and get your set together and pull up and start playing a sound. 10 people could have left the crowd. 10 people could have left the club in that amount of time, which would piss me off as a club owner, because that means I'm missing out on revenue. I'm missing out on the bar because your ego completely overrode your sense of community, your sense of business acumen, your just sense of being a human, a decent human being was overridden by your ego. And that's all that is right there. That's just somebody who has an ego. And I guarantee we don't know who that person is. I didn't recognize him. You are not Louis Vega. You are not, you know what I'm saying? We don't know who you are. You might be big on Dykeman Avenue, but that don't mean nothing to me here in Atlanta if I'm watching this, because I'm thinking, oh, you're trash, whoever you are, because what's social media going to do? They're going to find you and they're going to put you on blast. I guarantee
they already did. I found it. Like he done ran him off of Instagram.
Good.
They've been blowing up his Facebook. So apparently he's big in he's created a Bollywood, not Bollywood, I guess that's the wrong word, but a series of parties that he does in his genre. So, and it's primarily playing music.
You still don't care.
Yeah, right. But this behavior, and I was just like, I just need to hear Sir Daniel's like take on this, because like I said, I've seen these exchanges. I have planned for these exchanges. You know this. Like, I'm like, okay, there's going to be another DJ here, so I need to make sure that they know what's going on and we have space for them and blah, 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 so that it's not crazy.
You could have had a harmonious transition. You could have seen, I mean, there's several of my DJ friends in the chat right now. We've got Oxygen, DJ Oxygen, Kimberly, who has put on Needle to the Record. Yeah. I've got Tone Wax in here, Eclectic Music Vibes. All of us have, at some point or another, have been in the environment with each other in these situations, and all of us have witnessed very harmonious, even if the DJs don't know each other. Yeah. Everybody kind of has a respect for each other. I don't know if it's because it's here in Atlanta and that's New York, and that's New York is a whole nother beast. But I don't get it. I've been in places like Rocksteady and DJ Jamad, he played before me, and he's Jamad. He's been around longer than me, but it's always love. It's always a moment for me to catch up with them, to see how was the crowd, to and ask, I got one more. Can you mind? I'm like, man, go ahead, rock out. We talk. This is an opportunity. This is somebody that could actually give me another opportunity. I might have an opportunity for him. All you have done is that you have shut yourself off from community. You have possibly shut yourself off from other opportunities to get jobs. There's people that are going to be like, that's not somebody I would want to work with. So you're clipped. You really clipped yourself. You're done out here in these streets.
So a couple of things. Kimberly is like, oh, it happens here in Atlanta too, unfortunately. And you know what? And I'm not surprised, because Kimberly, having worked with a lot of different folks, I'm sure.
Seen it, thank God.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want you to see that either. Like, I promise you, if I was anywhere near, I would have flipped. I would have flipped out.
Gross. That
What
was
you
so
not going to
gross.
do is kill the music in here.
And that was probably his controller. That
Right.
he was. So you touch it. So now you're touching my equipment. Them's fighting words.
Them's fighting words. Y'all. Thank you, Sir Daniel, for weighing in on that foolishness. I wanted to get your take. Thank y'all for hanging out with us and being part of tonight's conversation. We talked about a lot of different things tonight, so we appreciate y'all. Y'all can do a bunch of stuff. Subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe wherever you are. Tell your friends, tell your family. Because if you like Q Points, they will like Q Points as well. Visit our website at qpoints.com. And you can check out all of the episodes. We should talk about this week's episode.
Please go back and listen. Please go back and listen to this week's episode. Watch this week's episode. I think there was a lot of, first of all, it was damn good.
It is a really good episode.
And I think there was a lot of, it was an episode full of nuance. And
yes.
I think J. Ray and I realized that nuance is lost on a lot of people these days. Sometimes they're attracted to clickbait and they're attracted to rage bait. So people want to, get on get upset and want something to get mad at. J. Ray was not trying.
I was not trying to call Tupac gay. I done made people mad. I make people mad apparently a lot on Q Points. I didn't even know. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just making a point. I don't know what to do. But yeah, some dude on YouTube is not happy with me. And it's fine. It's at least the fourth time that I have had someone mad at me.
It was so wild. And I was like, listen. And I think if Tupac was still here, Tupac would have enjoyed that episode.
Absolutely.
He probably would have been mad that he wasn't higher on our list.
Probably.
But Tupac would have enjoyed that episode. I don't think he would have taken it because it was filled with nuance. So
exactly.
Go back and watch that episode and take it in, please.
So you can watch that and all of our other episodes as well. Check us out on Substack. We got some dope stuff over there, which is really cool. And you can shop our store at store.qpoints.com. We got some new stuff coming. We got some 2026 stuff coming that y'all need to be ready for. And you know what? I see so many people that have come in. So TK, shout out to TK. Go and listen to The Secret Life of TK.
TK, yes.
The podcast. Make sure that y'all subscribe. We mentioned Warrior Mama, Viz hopped in, King of the Dance Floor hopped in, Shaniqua hopped in. Yeah, just wanted to shout all of y'all out. And yes, Kimberly, it is the show about Butch Queens. That is the show that we are referring to. Yo, and fellas, let us know specifically, actually, let us know your thoughts. Check out the show, inbox us, and let us know if the nuance landed for you. Real talk. Like, really.
Just let us know. Did you get it? Or were you kind of like, I don't know about all that. Just
Just let know. And we honest, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been cussed out enough. I have thick skin, so there's nothing you can say.
Word. Oh, you know what? Now that I see Shaniqua in the chat, so we were talking about Mary J. Blige earlier.
Yes.
I have another picture. I have a picture with Mary J. Blige when she did a meet and greet at V103. Back in my first days of working in V103, and this was for the Love at First Sight album.
Oh, so was that Love and Life? That was the Diddy. That was the Diddy album.
That was the last of the Diddy era. Yeah. So she came through and. Yeah, I'm gonna find that picture and post that one for y'all because there's stories behind that as well. Thank you all for the love you showed the Little Kim picture today. That was really dope. And so
I'm so happy, and I know I said this. I'm gonna say this publicly. I'm just so happy you had that picture. This is important for all of us, y'all. So I'm speaking to myself when I say this. In this moment in time, it's easy to take pictures for granted. And so take your pictures, save your memories. So if you need to print your pictures out, amen, print them out, because you could go right
Have
over to the
physical
CVS
copies.
or the Walgreens and print them things out so that you have them and put them in a book so that you don't lose them. Yeah, that's just really important. So just something
Super important.
Yeah. So thank you, Sir Daniel.
Absolutely. Well, like I always say, in this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J. Ray, y'all.
And this has been Q Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you on the next go round. Enjoy your MLK weekend.
Yes. Celebrate.
Don't go any place where they have flyers of MLK with a hookah and a do-rag and
with a hookah and parts and three cuts in MLK's
eyebrows trying to wild out. Don't do that. Let's preserve that memory. Have a good one. Peace.